we are talking about global warming and the weather now. So we have to establish something. So for the past couple of years, it has been really, really cold in Germany. And I mean really, really cold. For example, the heat wave, you know, that was going on a while ago in Europe. That was just a normal summer in the 2000s, 2010s, even in the very early 2020s. Just a normal summer. We had these temperatures all the time. Not during heat waves, just normal summer temperature. And now that's a heat wave. That is all so bad. While just a couple of years ago we were like, oh yeah, nice summer weather. You would love to skate on the Thames. Well, in less than 100 years you will be able to. Here we go. United Nations. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. Human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil and gas. So you're telling me that the climate change 500,000 years ago is because we burned so much fossil fuels? Because we have to establish more things. Climate changes happened all the time. All the time. That's nothing special. Climate change is just a normal thing. There actually, to my knowledge, has never been a period in the history of the entire planet where climate was actually stable. There were always bigger and smaller fluctuations. And what we see in the past 200 years is one of the smaller fluctuations, actually. But people don't know that because they are uneducated when it comes to the history of the freaking planet. It's just a lack of education and, of course, propaganda. What do I think about glass fragments on our moon? What do you mean by that? I mean, glass is literally just molten sand. I mean, that's of course there would be glass fragments on other planets than, you know, on moons on other planets than just Earth. Of course. Why wouldn't there? Why wouldn't be an area on another planet or whatever so hot that glass melts? I mean, volcanic eruptions there. It's the same with saying that diamonds are rare. They aren't. Diamonds are not rare. You can find diamonds everywhere with volcanic activity. And volcanic activity has been everywhere on the freaking planet. Okay, here we go.
I recently came across a compilation of headlines from the past years, according to which, quote, everywhere is warming faster than the rest of the world. This can't possibly be, can it?
Of course it can't. It's illogical.
Unless the rest of the world has left. And I mean, who knows? Have you checked on Uzbekistan lately? In any case, let's have a look. First, let's see whether these headlines are...
Let's see. Israel warming up almost twice as fast as rest of world data shows. How would that be possible? Canada warming twice as fast as the rest of the world report shows. Australia is heating up faster than the rest of the world. I see a pattern here. South Pole warming 3 times faster than rest of Earth study. Africa is warming more and faster than rest of the world.
actually exist. New England is warming up faster than the rest of the world. Europe is warming twice as fast as the rest of the planet. Canada warming twice as fast as the rest of the world. Israel warming up almost twice as fast as rest of world. Australia is heating up faster than the rest of the world. Car park behind Walmart is warming faster than the rest of the known universe. Just checking if you're listening. China is warming faster.
That one is funny. China warming faster than global average as extreme weather intensifies, report says. What extreme weather? What extreme weather? We haven't had any extreme weather. What is extreme weather? Extreme weather is just weather. Which, you know that they say, oh yeah, due to climate global warming, we will have more rain and more floods and everything will be fine. In Germany, we have literally less floods. I remember when I was a kid, we had floods every spring. Every spring we had floods. Why? Because the snow in the mountains would melt, which, in addition with rain, would cause massive floods. That doesn't happen anymore. It actually doesn't happen anymore for about almost around 30 years now. Everything is fine. No floods. In Germany, do you have debate teams? I don't know. And remember when they all saying that, oh yeah, due to the heat we will have more wild forest fires and stuff like that? In the 90s, we had on average 1 forest fire per year. We don't anymore. For almost 30 years, we barely have any forest fires ever. Ever. Start one? Why would I? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about their teams. So, but the politics and everyone says, oh yeah, this is all horrible, or it's bad, it's so bad. You know, but nothing is happening. Literally nothing is happening, and I will now even go more controversial. So I was working in landscaping a couple of years ago, and the last year I did that in that spring and summer, almost the entirety of the spring and half of the summer was rainy weather. And with rainy weather, I don't mean, oh yeah, it occasionally rains. No, I mean basically 5 days a week it rained. No, it didn't rain all day long, but it rained at basically 5 days per week on average. And the temperatures were very cold. In the middle of summer, we barely reached 20 degrees Celsius. And that in the middle of summer. Now for me that was kind of great because I didn't have any allergies. Which is the same way this year. We have, in the middle of summer it's actually hot. Which is just a normal summer in the 2000s, late 90s and 2010s. But I have no allergies. Which is not normal. I have allergies normally for 6 months of the year because, you know, of all the poles flying around. But there's nothing. There's nothing at the moment. And for a while now. And it's not, you know, that was, that 1 year. No. After that year. The years until, well, this year too. This year isn't split. This year is not, oh my god, it's so hot. It's not. It's not. This is just a summer. It's not even a particularly hot summer. It's just warm. We have some hot days, but even these hot days that we have this summer were normal summer days in the past. That was just normal temperature for months. A couple of weeks ago, the heat wave, that was just how the weather was for 4 months. The entirety of the actual summer. 4 months that weather. No rain, nothing. Just brooding heat. That was the norm. That was the summer. Now, oh, that's a heat wave. What does that mean? That means that the average temperature now is lower. Just saying. Just saying. And with the, oh, it has gotten colder. It was not only that 1 year. The year afterwards was the same, but almost the same. It was very, very cold in the summer. And then the next year after that, it was a little warmer. And after that, it was again, I think, a little... No, I think that year is now. I thought about the time frame this morning, I think, or last night. And I've completely forgotten it. And I think that this is now the 4th summer, which is colder than it was in the 30 years before. Just saying. Just saying. And they are making it out that it being all so hot. Oh, right. I remember the first summer I was talking about, where, you know, half the summer was rainy. That was also the summer where they said, oh my god, this is the hottest day ever recorded. Oh my god. While I was here freezing. So much for that. By the way, one reason why all the recordings show increasing temperatures is because you have these, you know, measuring stations, right? That measure temperature, pressure, you know, things like that. And about 200 years ago, they put one of these things on a field, right? Measuring everything fine. Well, now there isn't a field anymore. It's now a parking lot surrounded by buildings. Of course, that thing now measures higher temperatures because the sun, and with that the heat, gets reflected by the buildings around us and the pavement of the parking lot, all going into the measuring tool. Of course, it then measures higher temperatures. Freezing on hottest day of ever recorded. Do you have anything on that? Well, I was there. But it might not have been freezing, but it was cold. But it was definitely not the coldest day ever recorded. All these things are meaningless. All these things are meaningless. But now you have to do something positive for. The thing is, when they say, oh, it's the whatever ever recorded. We aren't recording the weather for 1,000 years. It's barely 200. Barely 200. Barely 200 years of recording weather. And we started recording after an ice age ended. But what happens if an ice age ends? It gets warmer. So yeah, of course there has been global warming. I mean, an ice age ended, duh. Do you know who I might talk to? I have no idea. No clue. So there's actually zero evidence that global warming is man-made, because we have no data on that. Zero. There's no data on, oh yeah, this is absolutely man-made, because no. The temperature rise is actually not high enough. And that's also a thing. It should be actually warmer. When they say talk about, oh yeah, until 2100 there will be a further increase in temperature of 1.6 degrees Celsius. That's what we should have right now. It's actually colder than it's supposed to be. Because of the pollution, because it's reflecting the sunlight, which makes the climate colder. Man, which by the way is it's literally what volcanic eruptions do. They put out massive clouds of, you know, CO2, which dim the sun, which leads to lower temperatures. I'm a bait for you. Great. How about for now we go back to the video? The video is not even going on for a minute and I'm rambling on around for 15 minutes.
Than a global average, Africa's warming more and faster than the rest of the world. Middle East heating nearly twice as fast as global average. South Pole warming 3 times faster than the rest of Earth. Finland is warming faster than the rest of the world, and so on. Okay, so the headlines are all real. The next thing to check is whether the headlines are about real papers.
Oh yeah, that's actually really good. Check it.
The answer is yes. For each of these headlines, there's a scientific publication that's been peer-reviewed or a report from some government institution. The journals are of rather mixed quality, but either way...
Oh, why I'm not surprised by that.
It seems like contradictory studies are being published in the scientific literature, leading to unnecessarily alarming headlines which claim every part of the world warms faster than the other. That's what it might seem, but there's something else going on, and it's a two-step explanation. First, there's the question of what the headlines actually mean. Most of the headlines...
That's a good question.
Is warming faster than the rest of the planet, or in some cases faster than the global average. The media takes these two things to mean the same, but colloquially we don't interpret them the same. Suppose you have a forest with trees that are growing. The trees don't all grow at exactly the same speed. Some grow a little faster, some a little slower. If the height is normal...
Exactly, that makes a lot of sense, yes. I see that all the time. Because I'm surrounded by forest, by the way. No matter where I go, I can see forest. Or at least trees.
Distributed, you expect half of the trees to grow faster than average. Okay, but if you pick a particular tree and say it grows faster than the rest of the trees, you'd mean it's actually the fastest, not just faster than average. So this is the first problem with the headlines. They write faster than the rest and mean faster than average. It's then not very surprising that so many countries warm faster than the rest. It's like saying half of Americans are more intelligent than average, because that's how averages work.
Well, yeah.
Environmental destruction affects us all, but luckily we can do something about it together, you and I and my friends at Planet Wild. Planet Wild is a community-based environmental protection organization. They're funding the restoration of ecosystems to preserve our nature and wildlife by partnering with different organizations every month. I've been part of their community for years now, and I've been really impressed by their work. They document all their projects with video reports that you can find right here on YouTube.
That's actually nice. It's an ad, but that's actually nice. It's actually nice. By the way, I do something similar. By that I mean I throw about a lot of seeds for flowers. Which partly worked, partly didn't.
This way you get to see the immediate impact of your contribution. And that's what I find so great about Planet Wild. They don't leave me...
Wait, what? You think I'm fake? Okay. You can think that if you want. I am too old to care about things like that.
Wondering where my money goes. In one of their recent missions, they bought an abandoned fish farm in Poland and turned it into a beaver paradise to restore the local
Nice.
biodiversity. This is a lovely example of the low-cost, high-impact work that Planet Wild is doing. Joining Planet Wild is a simple yet effective way to help this planet. And to give you a little more encouragement, I'll cover the first month of your subscription if you're among the first 100 people signing up with my code. And now, back to the science news. Still, you might say, okay, but then which are the other half of places that are warming slower than average? Pretty much the only place I could not find warming faster in the headlines was New Zealand. And indeed, that gives you a clue. New Zealand is surrounded by water, and the temperature of the water very strongly determines the climate in New Zealand. The thing is that when climate scientists speak of the global average temperature, that includes the temperature of the oceans. But most of the surface of Earth, about 70%, is covered by oceans. And the oceans warm slower than land, basically, because they're better at circulating the heat down. So the basic reason that every country seems to be warming faster than the rest of the world is that the rest of the world is water. And
oh my god, is it that simple? Is it that simple? And at the same time, so stupid? Which wouldn't be surprising. I mean, at this point, I don't expect people to be intelligent. Because, damn, a lot of them just aren't. They just aren't intelligent.
Land is warming faster than the water. This video from NASA Data is a good summary. You can see basically how the hotspots hover over the land areas, not entirely.
Well, yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. Duh.
Of course, but mostly. I'm not sure exactly what lesson to draw from this. The headlines are not wrong exactly, but misleading. The way we would naturally interpret them is not the correct meaning. If I read this region warms faster than the rest of the world, I'd interpret this to mean this region is the fastest warming region of land, and not that it warms faster than the oceans. But then which region of land is the one that does?
And we have to be careful here, because normal people, stupid people, normal people, they read that stuff and think, oh my god, the world is going down. They don't think about the oceans and that water increases in temperature slower.
Warm the fastest. That'd be the South Pole. And if you look only at populated regions, the fastest warming one is Europe. At least one competition Europe's still winning at. Don't forget to check out Planet Wild through the link in the description or by scanning the QR code. If you want to learn more about them first, check out their beaver mission here. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
Okay, this video was completely not what I was expecting. Completely not. But she's right. She's absolutely right. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes absolutely sense. We have to be very clear here. Do journalists write things to sell their stuff, to make money? And when they are into... Well, they work for organizations that are into all the propaganda about climate change too, so of course they make it sound as bad as possible. Of course. Makes sense, yeah. But for example, yesterday was pretty warm, but I was outside for a walk for about 2 hours, and yeah, it was just a nice warm summer day. But others will make you believe that, oh my god, it's so hot. It's so hot. People are dying. Unhealthy people are dying. decently heavy people are fine. That's how it always goes. Yeah. Who could have guessed that all these journalists are making things up to sell things? Who could have guessed that? Okay. I think we're at the end of this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is it so hot where you are, or, you know, is it just like whatever? Because to me, the summer is whatever. It's still way colder than it was in the 2000s, 2010s, and the very early 2020s. Even the late 90s was warmer in the summer than this right now. This is just fine. It's warm, it's fine. Perfect weather to go and swim. That's what this is for. Everyone in the 90s would have been happy about weather like that. Okay. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.